What's good, YouTube? Swiftly here, back with another NBA 2K25 video, and in today's video I have another episode of Red Builds. Today's episode we are actually going to be creating a two-way mid-range playmaker. So with that being said, let's jump right into the build. Now I made this build at the center position, but you can make this build at any position 1 through 5. For the height, weight, and wingspan, I went 6'10 on the height, I went 250 on the weight, and I went 7'2 on the wingspan. So I left everything default. But as always, you guys can switch this up, change this however you want if you want to make some changes. Moving into our attributes, I went with a 70 on the close shot. We went 55 on the drive and lay. We went 68 on the drive and dunk. We went 72 on the standing dunk. And then we have a 58 on the post control. Now, I know people are going to say like, oh, well, what was so great about, these attributes or whatever, because these attributes aren't really amazing. But the reason why I went with these attributes is because, as always, I tell you guys, the focal point of this build is going to be, defense and playmaking, but I also want to have some finishing on all my builds. As I always tell you guys on this channel, the worst thing you can do is make a one-dimensional build where the build can only shoot. You got a 99 3, 99 mid-range, 99 free throw with like an 86 ball handle, but you don't have nothing else. No defense, no finishing, no nothing. Somebody's holding L2 on you. Now you're completely taken out of the game because you got a lock face guarding you. Now how are you going to score? You can't get open on the perimeter. Now how are you going to score? You have nothing else. You have no finishing, you have no post control, you don't have anything else, and you have nothing else to contribute to your team either. You have no pass accuracy, you have no perimeter defense, you can't get a steal, you can't get a rebound. So being one dimensional will always, I know some people like to play their roles, and if you're on like a pro-am team or a proving grounds team, then of course, yes, you can make those specialized role players. But most of you guys are going to be playing solo rec or playing with randoms or playing with one or two friends, so you're not going to just have that one specialized niche role where you can just afford to just dump everything into shooting or passing or finishing or defense. So I like to have a little balance. 70 close shot, 68 driving dunk, 72 standing dunk is enough to get bronze rise up. This is enough to get some dunking packages like, Shaq and Dwight Howard, things of that nature. You'll also be able to get those rim grazer dunking packages as well. And then 58 post control, if you decide to throw some points on this, which I wouldn't recommend doing, you can get up to like a 61 post control for like hook specialists if you decide that's something that you want to do. Not that I would recommend that, just because there's better things that you could put your cap breakers on. But just a shout, or you can, make some adjustments and put your post control up to like a 67 or something like that, just to get a little bit better post control. But for me, it wasn't too much about putting post control. I just had something left over, so I threw it into post control. So just so that we have a little something extra for the finishing. You could probably take those extra points and put it into your drive and dunk, or your drive and layup is really what I would do. Try to hit like a 60 for the drive and layup, just for when you get pulled out of those dunks, that drive and layup will kick in. Enough we're going to move on to the shooting. Now, this build doesn't have any three-point, but that doesn't mean that you can't space the floor, because we are going to have an 80 on the mid-range, which means silver set shot specialist. And if you have your your badges, your +1 max +1 badges from the season pass, you throw a max +1 on that, you're looking at gold set shot specialist. And with an 80 midi, gold set shot specialist, and then whatever other boost that you're getting from people, like for example, gold, Hall of Fame, possibly even legend dimer, that 80 mid-range is going to feel much more like an 87 or a 90 mid-range than it will just an 80 mid-range. So do keep that in mind when you're making these builds, that just because you have an 80 flat midi or 85 flat midi, you're not going 94, 96, that you are going to not be able to space the floor. I'm able to space the floor with a 78 on my big. I run a 78 and then I just throw a +1 on there, and I have no problem spacing the floor with my very first big. But I went with 80 just because you want to reach those thresholds just for better jump shot bases. You know what I'm saying? So if you want, you could throw a +5 cap breaker on this and get up to an 85. Not so much because you need Silver Deadeye, but just because you will unlock better jump shot bases. So do keep that in mind as well too, when it comes down to it. And then of course, we have our 45 three ball, 62 free throw, which you guys obviously know that I usually tweak that anyway, so we'll probably change that. But for those of you who play park threes, you don't have to worry about that. For everybody else who play fives, obviously we're not going to be running with no 62 free throw in our build. That is absolutely treasonous to what I preach on this channel, so we will be changing that. Then moving on to our playmaking, we do have a 94 on the pass accuracy, like that, which is going to get you gold bailout. It's going to get you Hall of Fame, break starter, dimer, and silver versatile visionary. And then you also have +5 cap breaker. So if you want to max that bad boy out and go ahead and go 99 pass accuracy, that is also something that you can do as well too. Ball handle, we do have a 70 on the ball handle, so you are going to have those pro dribble sigs for big men, so you will be able to put the ball on the floor as a center. Obviously, you're going to be undersized, but we are going to make up with that with our other attributes as well as our physical. So don't worry too much about being undersized. I would say the only thing that you have to worry about as far as being on a 6'10 big, 6'11 big, you're going to make up for it with being, fast and having a good enough physicals. But if you go up against a pure post scorer, those 7-3 post scorers, which I haven't really seen. I've seen those a lot in the beginning of the year, but now I think a lot of people realize that you don't have to go 7-3 to really, body people down low or to horse people down low. But if you go up against a pure inside big, I'm talking about pure blue, 96 post control, 95, 99 standing dunk, 96 close shot, you will get baked. But here's the thing though, even if you're on a 7-foot big or a 7'1 big, you're going to get baked anyway, man, because that's just how overpowered post control and drop stepping is in this game. Everybody running around with real player percentage layups on and stuff, so you're going to get baked anyway. So you might as well have the advantage of having a 70 ball handle, being able to put the ball on the floor. You might as well have the advantage of being, a 74, 75 speed and a 70 agility and being able to beat people off the dribble and whatnot. So that's why I say usually in the beginning of the year, I was firmly 7 foot or taller. I refuse to go any shorter than that. But honestly, I'm kind of on that 6'10", 6'11 wave now, just because I feel like you can just do a lot more, especially when you have that 70 ball handle. You can still do a lot. And then when you see the defense that this build is going to have, you're going to realize what I mean when I say that it's not going to really make too much of a difference, when it comes down to it. So 70 ball handle, we got 55 speed with ball just for that Jokic dribble style. And then here come the part that I was talking about. We are going to have a 90 on the interior defense, like that, and then we're going to have 44 on the perimeter, 48 on the steal, and then we're going to have a 93 on the block. So even though you're 6'10", it's not like you're going to be running around with a 70, 65 interior defense and a 70 block or something like that. No, you're still going to have a 90 interior defense. You're still going to have a 93 block. You're still going to have high-flying denier on a high level. You're still going to have gold paint patroller, which you can max +1 this, and then go ahead and get you a Hall of Fame paint patroller. And if you really want to be gross, you can put +4 into this build, because if you look at it, you do get wait, hold up. I made a mistake. We gotta increase our wingspan by 3. Okay. I was gonna say, because I know that I made it to where you can get Legend Paint Patroller with this build. So you put +4 on this build because you can get a 98 block on this build. You put +4 and get your 97 block. You already have the 84 interior defense already. So you put +4 on your block with your cap breakers. You're looking at Hall of Fame Paint Patroller, and then you put your max +1 on there. If you don't want to put it on Set Shot Specialist, you put your max +1 on Paint Patroller, and now you have Legend Paint Patroller at 6'10". So you're making people miss, and you have the speed and the agility to beat them off the dribble and keep up with them. You're going to be able to make those backdoor cuts. Those centers, when you're sitting corner or deep two, not so much in the 3-point line, but deep two in that corner, whatever, you're going to be able to make so many of those off-ball cuts and backdoor cuts that they're not going to be able to keep up with you. On the pick and rolls at the top of the key, they're not going to be able to keep up with you. That's the thing. Like, that's where you have to take advantage of your strength. So moving on, we have a 67 O board, which isn't really much to brag about. And then we also have a 92 on the D board, which gives us goal rebound chaser. And then, as I always say, if you decide that, you know what, Hall of Fame paint patroller is not for you, max +1 your rebound chaser. You have multiple different options that you can use that max +1. You know, that's going to help bolster this build. Whether you're doing it for your rebound, whether you're doing it for your blocks, or whether you're doing it for your shooting, either way, you know, you're going to be able to, you know, actually make this build much, much better. And then finally for the physical, 74 speed, 67 agility. We're running with a 91 strength, which is most bigs are going to run a 91 strength. And then we're also going to have an 80 vertical, 83 vertical. So you're going to have a higher vertical than most bigs, because most bigs are really capping out 7-footers, 7'1", 7'2". They're capping out at like a 78, 74-ish. I think I got like a 74. I think I could have got a 78 on my 7'1". They're not getting all the way up to an 83. And I went 83 just because I wanted to make sure that I get that Hall of Fame high flying denier, which you're going to be pairing Hall of Fame high flying denier with possibly either Hall of Fame paint patroller, or if you use your cap breakers, you'll be pairing that with Legend paint patroller. You know what I'm saying? Or you could use your +1 on that and go Legend high flying denier, Hall of Fame paint patroller. The option is yours, and the options are really endless when it comes down to it. When we create our build, of course, you will see the shades of. You see Willis Reed up there. You see Jakob Podol. And you also see Singen from the Houston Rockets. And, of course, you'll see our build name, which you can't see because there was an update while I was recording this. But this is a two-way mid-range playmaker. So there you have it. This is my two-way mid-range playmaker build for NBA 2K25. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K25 content. And, of course, more rare builds like this. I'm out, y'all. Peace.